Hi, this is Ed Spilliers. I hope you enjoy this latest episode of Random Trek. Thank you very much. Yeah?
Good morning, good afternoon, and welcome to another episode of Random Trek. I am your transgalactic captain, Christopher Ingle, joined as always by my first officer, a man who sometimes can be cranky but is a holographic genius, Commander Brennan, the Mystical Mar. Brennan, are you actually here, or is this a trick?
Why don't you tell me?
I have to scan you, but you made my tricorder show a Vulcan marsupial.
Oh, darn it.
Today we are taking a look at Star Trek Voyager, Season 6, Episode 24, Lifeline. This is a Doctor-heavy episode, and not The Doctor, because that's another franchise, but the EMH. In fact, there's very little Voyager in this episode, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, it's a Voyager light episode. You could probably save a lot of money this way. This season, I don't know what it is about the 6th season of TNG, DS9, Voyager. I love the 6 seasons.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, they've got it. They know what they're doing. And with this one, we get really special guest stars. We get Dwight Schultz as Reg Barkley again. We get Marina Sirtis as Driana Troy. And a great performance. We'll talk a little bit about Tamara Craig Thomas as Haley. I like Haley. There's a lot of good going in this episode, but in reality, this is an opportunity for Robert Picardo to ham it up in all the good ways.
Yes, and definitely doing his best at that.
Absolutely. All right, let's get into the details of the episode. So, Voyager actually gets a message from Starfleet Command. It's been, I think, nearly 2 years since they used the Hirogen network to send the Doctor over into the Prometheus.
Yes.
And now they've received a signal from Starfleet regularly that right now, as they know, they can do once a month. So they can get regular contact with them again. Not two-way communication, but they can send messages back and forth, which is a big improvement from where they've been. So the crew gets really, really, really excited. And of course, Starfleet wants to know how they're doing, send messages, send status reports. We'll get into the little pieces of that in a minute. But, a message is sent from Reg Barkley to the Doctor that says that Louis Zimmerman, the creator of the Doctor's holomatrix, is very ill and he's looking for a second opinion. Now, we have met Zimmerman actually sort of twice before. Once in Deep Space Nine, we see him actually designing the EMH for the first time, played by Robert Picardo. But we also see a holographic version of Louis Zimmerman, who helped repair the Doctor's matrix when it was destabilizing a few seasons back. So we have seen this character before, but now we get to meet the actual man, and he is dying. So the Doctor begs the captain, please, I know it's a big sacrifice for the crew. I think I have a solution to help them, but Starfleet Medical can't do what I do. They don't know the technology to heal him. Send me across space in a compressed data stream, and I'll be back in a month. Janeway's a little scared at first, but the Doctor actually persuades her, and they go off. He goes off and makes it over there. So he gets over there with the help of Reg Barkley to Jupiter Station. Very beautiful space station. And it's been Louis Zimmerman's home for the last 4 years. He has not left since the DS9 episode that we saw him, we could almost assume. And he's been researching holographic technology and developing new ideas. So the whole thing is like one giant holodeck. It's his lab, but holograms can exist in it. The Doctor gets to finally meet up with Reg Barkley, who is assigned right now to help Zimmerman. But Zimmerman quickly proves to be an old, cranky man. Very cranky. And when he meets the Doctor, he is not happy. We don't know why, but he is not happy at all. What we find out is that the Doctor is outdated. That I believe we're already on the mark 4 or 5 of
I
the
think so, yeah.
Of the EMH program. So we've already moved beyond this version of the Doctor. Well, he tries to prove his worth to Zimmerman, to examine him and show that this can work. We could do this. But Zimmerman keeps stopping him at every avenue that he can. In fact, they don't get along at all. Zimmerman's a jerk to him, and the Doctor, as we know, is not one for bedside manner. And even though he's improved, his base matrix shows that he is Zimmerman's creation, and they are both just too stubborn with each other, and it's not working. The Doctor tries subterfuge. It doesn't work. They try everything they can, and Reg Barkley calls the only person that he can think who might be able to help, and that's one Deanna Troi. And he says, Deanna, I need help here. I can't figure out what to do. Maybe what they need is a counseling session. I need the best counselor. Deanna ends up agreeing, and she shows up a week later. And with Deanna's help, we get them to kind of at least see eye to eye for a second. But again, they keep arguing with each other, and they keep refusing, and it they don't mesh very well. But then all of a sudden, the Doctor's matrix begins to destabilize, and only Louis Zimmerman can repair him.
Yes.
And Zimmerman is convinced by Deanna and by Reg, he's got to be fixed. This is their only Doctor. We got to send him back. It's the right thing to do, and he came here. He's like one of your children. Please, please, please. Okay. Well, he ends up repairing him. He does. And it actually kind of rejuvenates him a little bit. And the Doctor kind of reaches him a little bit and says, look, I can do this. And he agrees, finally, after they come eye to eye. I'm skipping a little bit here, but basically what we find out is that the Mark I was a failure in Starfleet, and Starfleet drummed it out. That they've been made to, is it scrub plasma conduits? I believe? Menial labor.
I believe so, yes.
Medial labor. So this is, when he sees him, it's a representation of everything that's failed. But they finally come eye to eye eventually. And we end it with a picture of the two of them together, which is really cool. And they send the Doctor back. It's always fun when an actor gets to play off of themselves. And that is the lure of this episode. And it's not the first time we have seen this kind of thing. We saw, Will Riker play opposite one Thomas Riker. Thank you. Thomas Riker. Well, he was Will Riker, but yeah.
His evil transporter twin.
We have seen Kirk play off of evil Kirk. So this is not an uncommon thing that we have seen, only this is now hologram and creator. What do we think of that face-to-face and having to play the dual roles?
I think they do a pretty good job. On a visual level, you really can't tell.
Mm-hmm.
And Picardo is a great actor. And so he really makes the most of it.
Yeah, and it's like there are stakes, but it's almost a comedy episode, which Picardo also excels at very well.
Very much, yes.
A funny moment is when he transformed himself into the masseuse. I don't remember the name of the species.
Oh, yeah,
the same
Tarlac.
Tarlac, yeah, the same species from Star Trek Insurrection.
Yes.
But he makes himself look like this, and he starts massaging him, and the doctor, Zimmerman, is like, I really needed this, and this guy, he won't leave me alone. And then all of a sudden, you see the masseuse with the medical tricorder. We figure it out. The doctor, Zimmerman, figures it out pretty quick, and he uses his computer realign the Voyager EMH. And the doctor, I practically expected him to sit there and go, hi. Mm-hmm. Those are funny moments. Or with the holographic creations that Dr. Zimmerman made, the talking lizard, the fly, the fly that is a holographic fly that's buzzing around him, and when he smashes it, like, this is a funny episode with serious stakes.
Indeed it is.
And I'm sad we never get to see more of Zimmerman, because I kind of like Zimmerman. Zimmerman's an interesting oddity. And I would like to see what he does further in holographic technology and how that affects the future, especially when we go into the future of no synths.
Yes.
So how are holograms treated? How has the technology changed? Did that replace the synths? Like, it creates some interesting ideas, and I think Zimmerman is at the forefront of that.
Yeah, it's a fascinating idea.
But it also doesn't happen if you don't allow yourself to be taken care of, and this, I think, is also a very good look at the idea of facing terminal illness, and that when we talk about the stages of grief, Zimmerman is right in the middle of these stages of grief because he has assumed he's going to die.
Yeah, and I think I can speak from personal experience.
Really?
In the sense that I don't know what the future is going to hold for me. Mm-hmm. Not that I necessarily have the quote-unquote terminal illness. Mm-hmm. But, there are complications that could arise. Mm-hmm. And how to deal with that, that's always the great human question.
Right.
I think all of us face at some point or another.
Mm-hmm.
So it is interesting to see that here.
And Deanna's points through this episode when she is talking with Zimmerman and the EMH. She tells, Zimmerman, he's come all this way and he's got this cure for you. And Zimmerman's point is, well, he's obsolete. He's old. And the EMH doesn't understand his side. But then she points out to the EMH and she says, look, what if there was a problem with your holomatrix and the only person who could help you was someone who is decades, old technology?
A century, yeah.
A century of technology, away. Would you feel comfortable with that? And he says no. And they both kind of understand where the other is coming from at this point. But it's still dealing with our mortality. And can we accept help? Can we accept help from unexpected places? And can we face our failures? And I think it's more than facing a failure for Zimmerman. It's a matter of facing his mortality and the things in his life, the regrets that he deals with.
It's very, if you've seen the Japanese film Ikiru,
mm-hmm.
the Kurosawa film about the guy who learns he's dying.
Mm-hmm.
And we've seen those kind of stories. Wild Strawberries by Ingmar Bergman, and I always think of the line from Inception.
Right.
An old man full of regrets waiting to die alone.
But the idea of dealing with your death is not something that Star Trek has shied away from. Remember the episode of Ethics in The Next Generation when Worf wants to commit suicide? And Riker says no.
That's a big one.
That's a huge one. But in a way, this is in a similar vein.
It's true.
It's such a good look at that. And we know the Doctor. We know the Doctor can help. I really love seeing little glimmers of that terrible bedside manner still show its face.
Yes.
Voyager, it's interesting. The Voyager crew, We're in the 6th year of the Voyager of the Voyager mission by now. They're used to him. They know him. They're a family. So he has not really dealt with a difficult patient, short of the occasional fixing whatever happens to B'Elanna when she's on the holodeck.
Yes.
He doesn't have to deal with a difficult patient. But now he's dealing with a difficult patient, and we see those tendencies. And another detail is to send him across space, they had to take out some of the good subroutines that he has learned on Voyager.
Yes.
So his more base programming is there, and so we get to see a little bit of going back to who he was. Not in a heavy way. He's still him, and we see that personality-wise. But those details are there.
Yes, and by the way, I met Roderick Picardo.
Really?
Yes, at GalaxyCon 2 years ago.
Oh, I love Bob Picardo.
There were a number of Star Trek actors there. He was one of them.
He's honestly my favorite Star Trek Doctor.
And he gave me a selfie for free.
I love him. Oh, and he's coming back. He's coming back.
Yes, very excited about that.
Me too. Very stoked.
We're closing in on some good Star Trek.
We really are. And, I enjoyed this episode. It was great to see him play off of himself, and the character dynamics were very good. It was great to see Reg and Deanna.
Oh, yes.
And they didn't take over the episode. Reg almost becomes the framework for it to allow the episode to happen.
Yes.
And Deanna is a nice treat. It was just, and she's not in there a lot. She's in there for maybe the final third.
Yeah. I think, it was cool getting to see Barclay in this, and also the great scene in First Contact.
Right.
Where he meets Dr. Cochran.
You'd think for everything he did, and for the Pathfinder project and all of that, you'd think they'd give him a lieutenant commander by now.
Oh, is he stuck in the Harry Kim problem?
I feel like he's been a lieutenant forever.
Yeah, it's the Harry Kim problem.
He just made the first transgalactic phone call, as Louis Zimmerman puts it. And, not the Daystrom Prize, not a lieutenant commander's, nothing, just a good job, Reg.
Yep.
And we love Reg. And there are other episodes that I love that actually have Reg Barkley. The one with the hologram, the Reg Barkley hologram, I really enjoy. It's another.
And of course, when he plays Cyrano de Bergerac.
Yeah. That was the one where he got the brain boost, wasn't it?
The Nth Degree?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that was that one. It was a good one, too.
You gotta love Dr. Crusher's love for classical theater.
Oh, the Dancing Doctor. Can never forget the Dancing
Doctor.
Doctor.
The 1990 French version of Cyrano is really good.
I've actually done a stage production of Cyrano de Bergerac before.
Now, who did you play?
I played the Viscount in the opening that insults Cyrano and gets stabbed.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, that was fun. I got the sword fight with him.
That's the good stuff.
Yeah, I got to learn to sword fight on stage, which was so much fun.
And you get those really good Edmond Rostand insults.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But there were also some quotes, too. I got to give a couple because I like this. I do. And it's just the comedy of it. Zimmerman gets called by Reg, and his response is, "Can it wait until I'm dead?"
Yes.
Like this sarcasm and this bitterness comes out in some really funny moments.
Yes, Picardo is wonderful at that.
Spare us your psychobabble, and then Deanna says, "I came here thinking you were the opposite sides of the same coin, identical but different. Now I see you're the same. You're both jerks."
Yes,
and then the iguana goes, "Jerks."
To hear Deanna give her legitimate opinion. Just say you're just jerks.
Computer deactivate iguana.
Yes. Good stuff.
Or probably one of my favorite, What was your initial symptom? Radical hair loss.
Yep. They always got to throw those in there.
It's good. I really like the jokes are good. And again, he's just playing off of himself. Such a talent.
He really is.
Yeah. Final thought on this one.
Well, if you want more Rather Ricardo, check out Explorers. Where he plays Starkiller in that fake Star Wars ripoff.
I also failed to mention, yes, he not only double starred in this episode, he wrote the story for it.
Oh, he did? Okay.
He wrote the story for this. Yeah. I half expected him to direct it.
No, it's a good episode. It really is. It's good character work.
Mm-hmm. And it is the only episode in Voyager where Tuvok appears but has no lines.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Yeah, little things like that.
I haven't gotten to meet Tim Russ yet.
I'd like to know if he's found anything yet.
Well, I'm sure we'll get some of that soon.
Well, once it comes out, I'm sure you and we will review Spaceballs 2, The Quest for More Money. I know it's not called that, but it should be.
Well, it's better than some of the other titles. I don't think Jews in Space really works very well.
Was it that was History of the World Part 1, wasn't it?
History of the World Part 1, yes.
Yes. Okay, speaking of that, I had to explain the Inquisition to my kids the other day.
Oh,
my students, Inquisition was one of their vocabulary words.
Oh, that's a big one.
It is a big one. So I had to explain to them, and they're just junior high students, so I had to give just the basics of it. But as I was explaining what the Inquisition was, in my head, all I was hearing was, the Inquisition, let's begin the Inquisition. Anyway.
It's better to lose your skull cap than your skull.
Oi, Gewalt! Ladies and gentlemen, this is now shipped to a Mel Brooks discussion.
And send all your complaints to page turners they were not.
It's our show. We'll do with it as we please.
Yeah.
But this is really great. And it sets up that now Voyager's communicating with Starfleet again, which is just awesome to see and leads to a lot of good things. And it leads to another great Doctor episode in the 7th season about when the Doctor becomes an author. And the question of, is he, and kind of really looking at Measure of a Man in its own way. Is the Doctor an artist? Does it have rights, or does he have rights? But this leads to those questions because now we have the ability to talk to Starfleet. We have the ability to communicate. And eventually they'll do two-way communication.
You got it.
Final thought.
It's a good one. It's a character episode. It's not a plot episode.
Yeah, you don't need this episode. By any means. You don't. But it's fun.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't advance the plot, but it advances the characters.
Yeah, and I like when it does that most. I really do. Absolutely fabulous.
All right.
Next week, Animation Domination.
Oh, boy.
Alrighty. So there is something else. I'm going to bring up the randomizer. There's something else I wanted to do, and I want to spare you the torture of this.
Oh, boy.
So are you aware of the 4th animated Star Trek series?
Yes.
Okay.
Vaguely.
So there is now a preschool, and I've talked about it on this show before when it was announced, and I have seen the first episode to it. It's only like 4 minutes long. Called Star Trek Scouts, and it is done through Nick Jr., and it is intended for preschoolers. Absolutely is intended for preschoolers. There's no hiding that. But I think at some point soon, I'm going to look through all the episodes that they have already released, which is only online and on Nick Jr., but since I don't have Nick Jr. and watching Nick Jr., I will go through them online. And like I said, they're like 4 minutes apiece. I would like to see, does Star Trek translate for preschoolers?
It's a good question.
This is a good question. And maybe that'll be one of our little mini episodes that every so often we release.
I know it worked out pretty well for Star Wars.
It did. And that's the thought I'm having is, can we have that? But Star Trek doesn't exactly have the cuddliness that Yoda does.
That's true.
Or, or Jar Jar. Jar Jar's annoying, but it's cuddly is fun, So, okay.
We take no Jar Jar slander here.
I like Jar Jar. Misa Jar Jar.
Yeah, I like him too.
So that is actually going to be coming soon. I'll record that, and we'll post that at some point. But I won't force Brennan to sit through those episodes because I think he would get bored after the first one.
Yeah, maybe.
Or maybe we do have Brennan do it the next time his nieces and nephews are around. Let's see what they think.
Well, they'll be here next week, but yeah,
I don't know. Hey, kids, let's watch Star Trek.
They might be too busy watching Paw Patrol.
But that's the thing. It's done by the same people who do Paw Patrol and so many of the other Nick Jr. series. It's the same people that do this. So I'm curious. I'm very curious how well this works in a long run. And I believe they've released 10 episodes. They've got 10 more planned that are coming out next year. So I want to take a look and just get this gauge and can this work? But that'll get on the line. Let's talk next week with regular animation. So here we go. First one, the animated series, the pilot for the animated series, Season 1, Episode 1, Beyond the Farthest Star.
Okay, let me bookmark that.
For Lower Decks, Season 4, Episode 5, Empathological Fallacies.
All right, let me just bookmark that one.
Do we remember which one that is? Empathological Fallacies? No. I don't either right off the bat. I have a feeling it's a T'Len type thing. T'Len's in there somewhere. I don't know.
It's in the Betazoids.
Oh, the Betazoid diplomats. The girls. Oh, okay. Now my memory is coming back to me. It's the girls. That's right.
Prodigy.
They're like teeny boppers. Okay. It's been a while. All right, Prodigy. It's a two-parter. The Season 2 finale, Ouroboros.
Season 2, and that's on Netflix still, right?
I think Season 2 is. I believe it is. I know I bought the Blu-rays so I could avoid that.
Both parts?
Yeah, let's do parts one. If they're short enough, let's just do part 1 or 2. Awesome. And then, coming up again, later this month, actually coming up pretty quick, in about 2 weeks, we will be taking a look at our end-of-the-year movie, WALL-E.
One of the best films of the 21st century, I think.
Oh, it's way better than it had any right to be, and it is such creative storytelling with so little dialogue. I love when movies can do this.
Yes.
Love this.
And we will have a guest.
Yes, we have talked about this. Our last guest will be our repeat guest, Brendan's brother-in-law, who is a Pixar animator. So we'll be glad to have him back. I'm really excited. It was a really good interview last time for Toy Story. Now we'll get to hear his thoughts.
Fantastic.
We'll get to hear his thoughts next week. But Brendan, where can the people find you?
You can find me on Blue Sky at brenmar.bluesky.social. Mm-hmm. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube at Page Turners They Were Not.
You can find me on Twitch and Twitter at Ingle1984. But as always, we end every episode. Kapla! And live long and prosper.
Peace and long life.